Afternoon from Tallahassee, Florida. This is uh, around 1 p.m. here. So I'm coming live to you to encourage you. I know this is a season where many people are receiving either acceptance or rejection, and I know it's a lot for many people to actually take in, especially those who were rejected. And I just want to tell you, number one, that you were rejected now does not mean you cannot be accepted later. That's a fact. It doesn't mean you can't be accepted later. It only means that this cycle, there probably were people who were better than you in this cycle, and it does not mean you cannot bounce back again. So I want to start by encouraging you that you can bounce back again. Don't let that rejection hold you down. I have examples of different people who were rejected in either the first or second cycle of application that they did, and they actually bounced back. Okay, I know someone who was rejected by 18 schools or so, and then the second cycle he was able to get into around 10 schools or so. Okay, so don't let that rejection hold you down. You can actually bounce back. And I just want to list a couple of things that is possible for you to actually do when you want to apply again. Okay, in fact, I remember just before, I think yesterday, I was looking at my DM on Twitter, and someone sent me a message that the school he applied to where it was rejected before, was actually applied again the second time, and it was actually accepted. So these things happen. I think it was encouraged by some of the testimonies I shared, even my own experience where I was rejected once and I had to apply again. So first thing you want to do after such rejection, number one, go through your application materials. You want to be sure that there is something you can do better. Of course, one can always do something better. You can always do something better, make a better application or whatever. So go through those application material first and foremost. You want to look at your SOP, for example. Check your SOP. What can you write better? Now, another thing you can do, someone wrote me a message, was accepted in the second trial, and one of the things he said he did better was that I went for internship. So if you can do that, that would be good, so that you can include in your SOP this time around that you have this experience somewhere, you did internship here and there, blah blah blah. You want to be able to write there in your SOP that you've been able to achieve so and so. Okay, so go through your SOP, see what you can write better, see what research interests. It's possible some rejections are simply because there is no match between your research interests and what professors are doing in the department you're applying to. That may be the reason for some rejections. Okay, so go through everything, make sure there is a good match between your interest and what is available, what is on ground. Okay, you want to be sure that there is a very good match between the two. Okay, so another thing you want to do, you want to jack up your experience. Okay, you want to go somewhere, learn something, you want to boost your experience, boost your profile. Okay, you want to do some of these things to be able to boost your profile, and then you include it in your statement of purpose. So you don't just say, I'll just apply again with the same material, but you can do something. Check those things. Of course, you can't do anything about your grades, right? But there are things you can do something about, and I'm saying that you can rewrite your SOP. Now, some people will need to change this research area they said they wanted to do something on. Sometimes we are so much invested in a particular research area that we don't look at funding availabilities in those areas. So these are some of the things you want to actually look at: funding availability in that research area you have chosen. Of course, number two, when you boost your research experience, that means you definitely have to rewrite your SOP. I mean, you rewrite your CV too, not just your SOP. So it's possible you may want to rewrite your CV and then make something beautiful out of it. So these are some of the things you may want to do. Okay, your research, your statement of purpose, your CV, you want to boost it, you want to do something more about it to simply say that yes, I've become better. I'm not the same person I was the last time I applied. Let me give you an example of myself. When I applied again to FSU, Of course, I had to rewrite my SOP. I had to make adjustments. In fact, when I was reading the SOP again, I started questioning myself that would I have given myself the admission if I'm on the admission committee? Okay, these are some of the things you find out. Now, another thing you can do again is this: you may want to write some exams you decided not to write the last time. Okay, some of us want to cut away GRE, we want to cut away TOEFL, we want to cut away some of these things. Sometimes it's just not possible to cut these things out. Okay, so you may want to decide to write it this time around. Hi, Ron. Hi. You may want to decide to write it this time around. Okay, you may not be able to cut it. I remember during my time wrote um, I wrote GRE, of course, the first time. The second time, I just had to write TOEFL to be able to apply to more schools. Okay, so these are some of the things you need to do. You may want to write some of this exam which you have skipped, which you chose not to write before. Um, One other thing you can do again is this. Of course, I know many people chose schools without application. Many people just want that free application or no application fee, blah blah blah. You may want to look at the option of paying to some schools too. Okay, because if you decide that you are going to apply to only schools that do not require application fee, your options become so limited. Okay, what I did in my time, I mixed it, those that require application, those without application fee, and all those stuff. I had to mix it together, and I was able to have an array of schools that I can actually apply to. So if that's what you can also do, you may want to consider doing that. Okay, you may want to consider doing that. You want to spread your net wide. You want to spread your tentacles, okay, so that you can. Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. On my way to tea. Oh, good. So you want to spread your tentacles wide. I'm just saying I should come to you with some of the things you can actually do to uh, to to make your options more lively in this cycle. Okay, and I tell you, it is very, very possible. Don't give up. And last thing which you can do again is you may want to change recommenders. Some people will have to change recommenders. It's possible some of those who wrote for you in the last cycle didn't write good enough, and you may want to change those who are recommending for you. All right, thanks so much for joining today. I'm in front of my department. You may want to see some beautiful scenery here. You see, we have this beautiful waterfall in front of the physics department, and it makes everything look so beautiful, so beautiful. So this is my department here. This I don't come here every day. I mean, this is a building, physics department. There's another building somewhere over there, which is where the lab is. That's the nuclear research lab somewhere over there. This is a major physics building, different other departments around here. So different that part on the other side is also physics too. These are some of the buildings on campus, and that's the pathway different people walk over there. And yeah, so thank you for joining in today. God bless you. Good. I can see you. Uh, Prince, I can see you. I can see you. Thank you so much for joining in today. God bless you. Real good. All right, guys. Have a nice time. Love you. Love you.